Hi and welcome to this latest 10x leadership video. Hopefully the first 3 videos were useful for you and gave you a flavour of what this channel's all about. In this video I'm going to talk about high performing teams and what helps you create high performing teams. Given that you're watching this channel, I think some of you might already know what the secret sauce might be, but I'm going to cover it anyway. I'm also going to try and tie together a couple of themes that we've covered in some of the previous videos as well, just to bring all that to life. So the answer is leadership, of course. If you're a great leader, you're going to have a high performing team, or at least you've got more chance of having a high performing team. What I want to cover in this video is really make sure we understand the connection between great leadership and high performing teams, high delivery. I think there'll be people out there watching this, especially the Reds in terms of insights amongst you, who just want to get on with things, and you want me to get to the point and to the bit where I help you understand how to deliver with your team. Well, I suppose a couple of things to say there. The first is just be careful you're not straying into the management territory rather than the leadership territory. I mean, there is clearly a connection between high performing teams, strong leaders, and delivering output, but don't stray into just trying to deliver a thing. Really think about leading your team, and they will deliver for you. I suppose the other point is that I already am telling you how to deliver with a high performing team, and that is through great leadership. And the sort of foundations of that for me are the 3 things that we've already covered so far. That's not the only things we're going to be covering, but those are the 3 fundamentals that I needed to get across to begin with, so that if we get those bits right, we can build and all the other things will make some sense. So the first one was about, do we understand the point of what we're doing? And all too often it's easy for us to think we understand the point, but we're just busy. We're not actually doing anything productive or useful. We're just busy. So really understand the point of what you are doing or what you've been asked to do and what your team are there to do. And the second point is, in order to get the best out of your team, in order to get to a high performing team, you need to be able to do a whole range of things with your team, including motivating them. And as I mentioned in previous videos, for me a lot of that is about understanding yourself and understanding how you work and what makes you tick, and then you can apply those sorts of principles to your team as well and get a much better connection. And once you've got the connection, you're in a much better place. And the third video that we've had a look at, or we've covered so far, has been about using psychometric tests, not falling into the traps, the top traps that I see when people use psychometric testing. So, like I say, those are the fundamentals, I think, for performing well and having a high performing team. It doesn't mean, of course, that you have to be a great leader in order to have a high performing team. You can beat people to death. You can constantly push your team to get the delivery that you're looking for. But again, for me, that's more about a sort of management approach than a leadership approach. It also is really hard work. And I would say to you, why would you want to do that? Why would you constantly want to have to push your team to get them to deliver? How about creating a team that wants to perform, in their own right? That individuals in your team want to do a really good job. They want to take some of the pressure off you and your colleagues, and they want to take ownership of the work that you're all there to deliver. And you can do that and deliver your business objectives in a much better way if you are a great leader. I think the thing for me as well is just think about some of the great leaders that you've seen in the past, and it's not necessarily what are the qualities of those leaders. We might go into that in one of the future videos, but it's about how does that team work. And the clue is in the name. They work as a team. I've seen lots and lots of teams, both in business but sports, that you have some really important, prominent people in those teams, but actually they still struggle. And the reason they struggle is because they aren't working as a team. Everyone doesn't know their place. Everyone doesn't understand how they fit together and how they can learn and build off the work that each other is doing. If you've just got some superstar in the team who's trying to just impress everyone, but they're not engaging with everyone, they're not working collectively, it's just not going to work. So have a think about teams that you've seen in the past that have worked really, really well. And if you just use a football example, for example, there are teams out there that haven't got superstar players, but nevertheless they seem to be punching above their weight. They seem to be performing better than you would expect, given the caliber of individuals within those teams. But it's the power of all of those people working together that makes the difference. It's it's them understanding how they're supposed to work, what they're supposed to be doing, and making sure that they all deliver that, but they all deliver it for the team, not just for themselves. I suppose the converse of that is, just stop and have a think about some of the teams that you've seen where leadership hasn't been working, and what the impact is on that team in terms of what they were there to deliver, and are they delivering it. And there are lots of teams out there who are just dysfunctional. The leadership is poor, people aren't empowered, people don't have delegation, people don't understand what they're supposed to be doing, and it all starts to fall apart. So you already know this already. That's this is why you're tuning into this channel. But don't underestimate leadership and the power of a good leader. These things, high performing teams don't happen just by chance. It's a combination of having a really good leader who understands what they're doing, and hopefully that's going to be you, and individuals in teams who understand their roles, know what they're supposed to be doing, are motivated to do so, and in fact are motivated to do so even when you're not there. That's the sign for me of a high performing team. Again, I think I just want to call out those reds amongst you, the red insight people, the impatient ones. I'm sure if you're even listening now, 7-8 minutes into this video, if you're even still listening, and I hope you are, just stick with it, be patient. The things that I'm talking about in these early videos are the foundational elements that make all the rest make sense. So we are going to get to what are the tools and techniques, what are the how do I delegate, how do I motivate people, how do I deal with difficult members of the team, how do I create an environment that is effective and helps the team deliver what needs to be delivered. We will be covering all of those things. I'll be covering tools, techniques. I'll be referencing books and other things that I suggest you go off and have a look at. Articles on the 10x leadership site. I'll be posting some things on there as well. Checklists, all sorts of things that are going to help you deliver. But we've got to have the foundations right. So that's what we're concentrating on. So stick with me. I am going to go into a bit more detail about some of those things in the next video and the next few videos. There's a clear plan in my head of what I need to talk to you about. So trust me, I know what I'm doing, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Just a quick add-on to this video. It's just a point I want to make about perfection. I mean, as you've seen, this video and these videos are not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but nor are they intended to be. And I'll cover off actually the problems with perfection or believing in perfection in future videos. But if you see me stumbling over words, repeating myself, not being completely clear about what I'm going to say next, or just pausing to think about what I'm talking about, that's all part of the way that these videos are. Hopefully you like that. Hopefully that sort of chimes with how you deliver your as a leader in your day-to-day life. This isn't it's not a film, it's not a it's not a high production environment. I'm not a news anchor or something like that. What I'm doing is I'm trying to convey to you the things that through trial and error I've found to work successfully. And I've talked before, I've made lots of mistakes. I still make mistakes, but the important thing is that I understand that I've done that and I learn from them. So again, if this is a bit clunky to start with, again, just stick with it. It's never going to be perfect. I'm not aiming for perfection. What I'm aiming for is a good standard that conveys what I know to be true, and hopefully, you find them useful. So stick with it, and hopefully we'll just get used to each other as these videos progress. And I really do look forward to seeing you in the next one. See you soon.